2008, I've been doing lots of drama workshops, which were 10-day drama workshops. So I've done workshops in villages in Gujarat. I've done workshops in tribal areas of Maharashtra with elite schools in big cities like Surat and Mumbai. And I've been doing that using drama in education. So when you use drama in education, they're naturally bagless. So that's the very interesting thing, is that the children are learning through fun and without typical textbooks. They do have books which they can write their reflections and all, but they don't really need bags and textbooks for that learning. And nor does the teacher need the textbook to teach. In 2015, I did a very interesting workshop, and that was a filmmaking camp for 10 days, where I taught my students, or rather introduced my students to the art of filmmaking. That time I asked them what kind of vocations are there in filmmaking. And they said the three obvious, that's acting, camera and direction. But within a week they realized that there are more than 26 vocations or career possibilities in filmmaking. And I'm so happy to see some of my girls who insisted that they only wanted to do editing. And one of my kids who was severely dyslexic, and he was the best photographer. He insisted that he wanted to do photography and he did it so well. The minute he was behind the camera, all his dyslexia, etc. had just disappeared.
Silence! Camera roll. Action!
That's when I realized that I really need to make in proper curriculums to teach my students pre-vocational education.
Days Bagless School. It's my and Swaroop's dream project. Before 3 years, we have thought that our kids in school, they don't have exposure for vocation.
And that's exactly what I'm doing here at Lavad School. I'm doing a pre-vocational education workshop, exposing my students to 8, 9 different type of vocations. Like in this workshop, we are having pottery, robotics to make toys, visual arts, mixed media, we have photography, we have smart farming or Gai Adharit farming, and we have soap making. Now, I don't really want everybody to become soap makers. No, it's about learning things that yes, this is a possibility. It's about introducing them to something that they are not yet. Another very interesting thing I've done is we went to Rashtriya Raksha University and my students were exposed to the idea of forensic as a career. Isn't that interesting? They just loved it, and especially when they saw how the bullets work and how fingerprinting is done and the idea of DNA, etc. So I don't think all of them are going to go into it, but that is a possibility. Another thing is that I took them to a university and they saw the grand university. Now all of them are dreaming, no, we want to get into higher education. So that's the beauty of it. To top this visit, I created worksheets and fun games in criminal forensics. These were done in the classroom to help them retain learning. Besides this pre-vocational education bit, there's something that's really interesting happening in this workshop, and that's holistic education. The idea of holistic education is what we had in our culture before, which disappeared, but we need to bring it back. And I know the NEP 2020 is going to bring it back for sure. So what is holistic education? Holistic education is about the intellect, the emotion, the culture, about art, about ethics, and something which we get very scared of is spirituality. I don't know why we should not include that. So that's what I've done over here. In this workshop, I'm teaching my students the Aditya Hridaya Stotram. They're learning about Surya Dev, the sun god, and they're learning not only about the god, but they're learning about the geography of it, the social science of it, the arts of it, and why do we physically actually need the sun, and what is the power the sun gives us. When the whole world is talking about it, why should my students be deprived of the knowledge of the sun and the advantage of the sun rays, etc., etc.? Neema Parekh, the head teacher of the school, is a trained yoga instructor. She's teaching the students the Surya Namaskar. So we've added a physical aspect to the education, a physical education.
During Surya Namaskar, they are doing physical training, they are having physical education, and they have to recall those names, Surya's synonyms. So it is repetitive learning, they are learning perfect. After that, they visited Surya temple. So they can recognize what they are learning, they can see through their eyes, this is very beautiful when suddenly a kid says, oh, this is Surya. They recognize, we don't have to say it. So the learning happens from inside.
The thing is that when you show them the stuff that's there and link their learning with the heritage side, it suddenly becomes so interesting. Like in the Aditya Hridaya, I taught them about Surya Dev's 7 horses. The minute they went to the temple, they all go, Ma'am, this is Surya Dev, see the horses there. And when the guide was telling them about the 7 days and the 7 colors, immediately they linked on that.
See, we say that we are a replica of the Paramatma. Atma is a replica of Paramatma. Same way, the temple that we build, that is the house of the deity, should be a replica of the cosmos. And cosmos is holonomic in structure. So if you look at any architectural elements of a temple, it can be the Shikhar, the Surya Kund. Look at the steps of the Surya Kund. They are actually fractal in nature. They are actually similar to Sierpinski's triangle or Sierpinski's gasket. So when I was teaching kids, I first showed them, okay, draw a triangle. Then within a triangle, draw another inverted triangle. Now we have smaller triangles. Within those triangles, draw other triangles. Then I showed them Koch curve and other fractal geometry shapes. So then I made them realize that the steps at the Surya Kund are actually geometry of self-replicating shapes. And they had a ball of a time. They really enjoyed it. They learned designing, geometry, and the architecture of temples. They are able to correlate.
I'm so pleased that we have achieved this in this 10-day Bagler school, integrated learning. Children going back with loving math. So that is really interesting because math is one subject which children are always scared of. So at least our students from the 8th standard onwards are not going to be scared of math.
બેગલેર સ્કૂલમાં ઘણું અલગ અલગ કામ થયું. એમાં મારો એક ભાગ હતો તોડફોડ જોડ, અને એની સાથે થોડુંક રોબોટિક્સ પણ કરાયું. તોડફોડ જોડ એટલે શું કે કોઈ મશીન હોય છે એને ઓપન કરવું અને તેને અંદર જે સ્પેર પાર્ટ છે, અલગ અલગ જે પાર્ટ છે એને સમજવા. એ સમજ્યા પછી એને એમાંથી કંઈક નવું બનાવવું અથવા પાછું એને એસેમ્બલ કરવું. જે ખોલ્યા પછી ખોલી તો નાખ્યું છે આપણે, પણ એને એસેમ્બલ કરવું બહુ અઘરી વસ્તુ છે એકવાર ખુલી ગયા પછી. તો કાં તો તમે એને પાછું એસેમ્બલ કર્યું અથવા એમાંથી અમે કંઈક નવું બનાવ્યું.
Yesterday they made solar energy panels to run robotics and they drew energy from the sun.
તો એના લીધે મેં પછી એમના જોડે રોબોટ ચલાવરાયો કે સોલાર ઉપરથી રોબોટ કેવી રીતે ચાલે છે, એના એમ્પિયર ચેક કરાવરાયો કે સોલારમાંથી કેટલો એમ્પિયર આવે છે, વોલ્ટ આવે છે, અને અલગ અલગ પંખા ફેન ચલાવરાયો. તો એને ખબર પડી કે ના, સોલારથી આવું પણ થાય છે.
And when they saw it on the meter, they said, oh my God, so much energy from the sun. And they said, ma'am, that's there in the Aditya Hridaya, that the sun is the ultimate light and the ultimate power. So This is called integrated learning, where we've integrated art, science, maths, geography, everything is integrated. And the best is none of the teachers or the mentors actually have textbooks. But we don't want to do away with books, so we've created a beautiful library for them with beautiful coffee table books and learning manuals. And for example, for the photography, I actually sourced the best pictures by Life and Time magazines. You have to just see the excitement and fun.
મને એક વસ્તુ જે પસંદ આવી આમાં પ્રોગ્રામની અંદર, જે છોકરીઓ મારા પાર્ટની અંદર જે જોડાણી હતી કે છોકરીઓને આ બધું કરવું નથી ગમતું, એમને કોમ્પ્યુટર એન્જિનિયરિંગ એ બધું કરવું ગમે છે, પણ આની સાથે જે તોડફોડ જોડની સાથે જે જોડાણી છોકરીઓ, એ મને બહુ પસંદ આવી. એમની જે ક્યુરિયોસિટી, જે શીખવાની હતી, કે સામેથી આવીને પૂછતા હતા કે સર આ કઈ રીતે થાય, આ મશીન કઈ રીતે ઓપન થાય, આ રોબોટ કઈ રીતે ચાલે, રોબોટને કઈ રીતે હું ચલાવું, કઈ રીતે શીખું, એ મને બહુ પસંદ આવ્યું. એમની એટલી બધી એનર્જી હતી છોકરીઓની શીખવાની કે સામેથી આવીને જે ક્વેશ્ચન પૂછતા હતા ને એના લીધે મને બહુ સારું લાગ્યું.
यूजुअली स्टिचिंग इज़ कंसिडर्ड एज द वुमेन थिंग, क्योंकि ज़्यादातर हमने अपने घरों में या अपने आसपास टेलरिंग में भी वुमेन को ही देखा है, और मेरी क्लास में बोथ द जेंडर्स आर देयर, तो विच इज़ सरप्राइजिंग फॉर मी बिकॉज इन माई एक्सपीरियंस आई हैवंट टॉट बॉयज़ द स्टिचिंग, तो दैट इज़ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड दे आर वेरी कीन टू लर्न दैट एंड दे आर वेरी गुड एट इट.
I'll just give you one small example of super integrated learning and experiential learning. The soap making class.
Like I am teaching soap making. In that soap making they are learning chemistry. Without chemistry they cannot make soap. They have to measure things perfectly. They have to know the equations.
And it is so great because this is even better than a laboratory, and at no time am I saying that laboratories are not good, but this is great because they were actually making a product by weighing and measuring and understanding the maths of it and the chemistry of it. So this is an example of great experiential learning. The children are going to learn things that they're never going to forget, and the best thing is they enjoyed measuring. Life skills is a very important part of learning, and life skills is a very important part of our program, because I definitely believe even when we do skill building and when we have vocations, I'm not even talking of pre-vocation, I'm talking about your vocation, your decision making skills, your creative thinking, your critical thinking is going to make that defining change.
Another extremely important thing which I feel is Swaroop's master stroke is that she introduced the life skill of empathy, which is looking at things from another perspective, getting away from one's own self and seeing how others would perceive things. This was a hidden strategy that we wanted to sort of imply in this 10 days Bagley school, and which happened so beautifully that the 5th day or the 6th day when we actually went to the outdoor photography, the kids came up with extremely amazing points of views and perspectives of photographs, which otherwise wouldn't have been possible if I had very generically started with aperture and shutter speed learning.
Another integrated thing I want to talk about, which is really interesting, is what one of my other teachers mentioned when they walked into my class of block printing. Patience. How are you going to teach patience through a lecture format? Whereas here they had to wait for the paint to dry to put the next block. As they did in Kanchi's class in the photography. Patiently wait for the moment and then click. a lot of learning happens in the 10-day Bagless school.
So by the time we came to the day 5 or 6, the kids started talking and explaining the really important and complicated words like the abstract photography or the macro or the rule of thirds or the leading lines, which was something that they heard for the very first time during this course. And hence I feel this particular process of learning and even imparting the knowledge has been so thrilling for us, and very very provocative, because the kids actually started with thinking creatively, imagining and then executing whatever they had to do that.
We do have this wonderful program of skill building and national vocational framework which starts from the 9th standard. But according to me, it should start much earlier. There are two reasons for it. One is that we are the one country which has over 2,500 arts and crafts. That's right. Our students need to learn this at a very young age to appreciate it.
The whole idea is to give them exposure to the different regional art forms. Like we have Madhubani from Bihar, we have Gond paintings, we have Pichwai paintings, we have different hand paintings of India. So giving them exposure towards it and trying their hands on one of the technique, so they know how the minuteness of the art form is and what are the different materials are used in that same form, to understand the broader aspect of the art. So we have even given them the exposure of a Kutchi painting where they are painting with the sticks, bamboo sticks, paints and the mirrors.
મને એ ખબર નથી કે માટી કામમાં પણ પેન્ટિંગ થાય. પછી બેને મને માટીની ડીશમાં પેન્ટિંગ બતાવી અને મને સૌથી વધારે એ વસ્તુ ગમે કે માટી કામમાં ગમે તે વસ્તુ બનાવીએ એમાં પેન્ટિંગ કરવાની મજા આવે.
Another very interesting thing that's there in NEP 2020 is lifelong learning. And we've tried in a very small way to integrate that into our 10-day workshop. We went to the tailor, the village tailor. So we had designed beautiful knapsacks for the mixed media class. She made them for us and of course we paid her for that. Besides that, she came as an assistant mentor. And it's so beautiful to see the way she worked with the boys and the girls. She went back with new learning. And that is one great hope, is that today she has learned something from our mentor who's an expert. And hopefully she would be able to set up something individually on her own. And that's like lifelong learning.
Of course, in this 10 days workshop, we have given them a clay which is locally sourced from their own village. So they know the importance of the local material and how they can use it into their daily life. So the kids have developed the daily utility objects, understanding the utility aspect of a product as well as the decorative aspect of the product. And especially few kids like Yuvraj and Rajdip has beautifully taken the different techniques, like there are slipping techniques, there are slabbing techniques, there are coiling techniques in pottery. So the first day with the way their hands are moving, and on the last day today the way their hands are moving is of course something remarkable to be noted, a milestone to be achieved in giving exposure to these kids about the clay.
So there's a girl in the class whose name is Jigisa, who is very good at it, and उसने छोटे छोटे फ्लावर्स के कटिंग she stitched it on the big cloth and she was very good at it and she did it very patiently. I mean, I was seeing she sat in a corner और अपना करके and then she दीदी ये it's done, अब क्या करना है, and she is very good at it. तो मुझे लगता है कि उसने बहुत अच्छे से she used that 7 days or even the 10 days she will be using, जिसमें कि she will be like become a leader maybe to teach other kids also, the upcoming kids. So it's very good.
There are a lot of farmer kids, like in this village where we are working in Nawad Adarsh Primary School. lots of farmer children. But they have forgotten our old culture, they've forgotten the old way of farming. So this whole process of 10-day Bagless School is not about teaching them one profession or one vocation, but for me it is pre-vocational education before they really choose what they want to do in life. And even if they go into farming, which is great, they must love it. That's what I want from them. You know, they must love the art of farming.
જે અમારી જોડે બાળકો આવે છે એ 80%થી વધારે ખેતી સાથે સંકળાયેલા વાલીઓના બાળકો છે. તો જે આપણે પ્રાચીન યુગમાં વર્ષોથી કુદરતી ખેતી થતી હતી તો બધા એનાથી અવગત હતા, પણ ધીરે ધીરે જરૂરિયાત ઊભી થવાના કારણે એ ખેતીને આપણે ધીરે ધીરે ભૂલતા ગયા અને રાસાયણિક યુગમાં પ્રવેશ કરી લીધો. એટલે મેં વિચાર્યું કે 10 દિવસ માટે બેનના માર્ગદર્શનમાં અમે સજીવ ખેતી વિશેનું જ્ઞાન બાળકોને આપીએ. એના માટે અમે એક સરસ મજાનું જસ્ટ આપણું આ 10-day બેગલેસ સ્કૂલ 1 જુલાઈથી 10th જુલાઈમાં ચાલુ કરવાનો હતો. તેના થોડા સમય પહેલાં વેકેશન હતું, એટલે વેકેશનમાં અમે સરસ મજાનું પ્લાનિંગ કર્યું કે આવનારા 10 દિવસમાં બાળકોને આ સરસ મજાની ગાય આધારિત સજીવ ખેતી વિશે આપણે શીખવશું.
એમાં પહેલા દિવસે અમે જીવામૃત, પછી ઘન જીવામૃત, બીજા દિવસે અમે એમને હ્યુમિક એસિડ બનાવતા શીખવાડ્યું, જે પ્રેક્ટિકલથી અને થિયરીના માધ્યમથી શીખવાડ્યું. સાથે સાથે અમે થિયરી પણ લીધી હતી કે ખેતીમાં આયોજનનું શું મહત્ત્વ હોય છે, ઓર્ગેનિક ખેતીની મર્યાદાઓ શું છે, ઓર્ગેનિક ખેતી કરવાથી શું ફાયદા થશે, એ તમામ મુદ્દાઓ અમે આવરીને શાળાના માધ્યમથી ગામ સુધી પહોંચાડવાનું, ગામના માધ્યમથી તાલુકા અને જિલ્લા સુધી આગળ લોકોને આનું જ્ઞાન મળે એવો અમારો પૂરેપૂરો પ્રયત્ન હતો.
We worked very hard for this program. One of the first things we started with is deciding which vocations we wanted and getting the experts or the mentors to come. And I had actually created a format for them where they had to think about the elements and performance criteria. So we created a rubric for that. That's very important because it's, you know, not an ad hoc program, even though it's fun. And fun doesn't really mean ad hoc. The other thing which we worked very hard on was assessment. So my mentors and me have worked on the assessment rubric. So basically it is, can the student do this or not? That's it. And it is really easy to fill up. Another assessment thing we did was reflection. So my PhD was on reflective practices and I really believe in reflection. Each of our mentors wrote down reflections, their personal reflections every day. And when the program got over, the day was over, the last 15 minutes was spent in reflecting with the children about what they learnt and why they learnt. Now this is another important life skill that is being missed tremendously and sadly in schools where children are not taught or allowed to think. You know, most of it is told, do this, do that, but they're not allowed to think for themselves.
In our school system, kids are not allowed to think. Here in this 10 days Bagless School, they have to think a lot. I have observed my kids are struggling. Of course they think every day, but here they have to think more beyond their limits. And they are actually doing it. They are going beyond their limits. I have realized there is no language barrier. All the mentors coming from different regions, like from Karnataka, from Udaipur, they are speaking different languages. But here language is not the barrier. Knowledge is more powerful and kids are hungry for knowledge.
And that's why when I introduced editing, the first thing which came to my mind was language barrier will be a problem because I'm not very well versed with a lot of Gujarati terms. But that wasn't really the case because these kids are really really smart and वो कहते हैं ना, if you want to understand something you can do it in any way, वो हो ही जाता है. So they really found their own ways to correlate, to whatever I was teaching and just, grasp onto whatever was being thrown at them.
New people are coming to school, but that doesn't make any difference. They just see the intention of mentors that they want to teach us and we want to learn. We are getting everything what we are doing and they are so happy and they are using their opportunity very nicely. So I am very happy for my kids also and feel proud also that they are giving their 100% excellent performance.
તું પહેલા શું બનવા માંગતો અને હવે કંઈક બદલાયું છે તારા મનમાં? શું થયું મને કે એવું કંઈ કે
મને ખબર નથી કે આપણે સોલર પેનલથી આવું કરી શકાય ના કરી શકાય એટલે એ શીખે એટલે મોબાઈલમાં નંબર જાય કે આપણે લાઈટ ના હોય ત્યારે સોલર પેનલથી આવું કરી શકાય વીજળી ચાલુ કરી શકાય તેમજ સૂર્યપ્રકાશ ખેંચીને વીજળી ઉત્પન્ન કરે એ બધું કરી શકાય રોબોટ ચાલુ કરી શકાય. હા બેન તો મને ખબર નથી કઈ.
I just realized that it was very difficult for me to teach them a single poem in Gujarati in their own language. Here they are learning Sanskrit Stotram. The words are very difficult to pronounce and they learnt it in 10 days.
चिन्ताशोकप्रशमनम् आयुर्वर्धनमुत्तमम्.
આનંદ વિદ્યાલયમાં જ્યારે સંસ્કૃતના શ્લોક હતા ત્યારે એક શબ્દના ભાગ કરીને શીખવાતા હતા ત્યારે એ શબ્દ અમને વાંચતા પણ આવડતો હતો અને મને એનો આનંદ વિદ્યાલયનો રાગ પણ સારો લાગતો હતો.
This was my dream and it is coming true. So I am very happy for that.
The way we've done this and the way we are working and the way we are documenting this is with the hope that other teachers and other schools would be able to replicate this or maybe get inspired by it and realize that it's actually not difficult. Of course it's hard work, everything is hard work and you have to try hard. We are going to document it on paper, but we are going to have these beautiful documentary films where teachers can just see and hope to replicate the program. I am not getting my children, my students, to maybe become professional potters or artists or tailors or designers or engineers. What I want to do is light a small flame of imagination, because when you light that small flame of imagination, there is a possibility.